Thank you for tuning into Natty News Daily Weekly, where we cover the latest ongoings in natural bodybuilding. If you see a cool story you think we should cover, please send it our way, and maybe we'll include it in the next episode. And if you like what we're doing and would like to support us, please consider checking out one of our sponsors. Our sponsor, Core Nutritionals, for all your supplement needs. Code Natty News Daily, as well as GymPin. If you want to add weight to the machines in your gym, you're running out of room, check out GymPin. Also code Natty News Daily. Enjoy the episode.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Natty News Daily Weekly. This is James here, bringing you your weekly segment looking at highlighting news, bodybuilding events, and athletes from the previous week. So starting out, just like we have been with the last couple segments, 3 athletes that we're highlighting, less news, less academia this week, just looking at 3 people that have put up some interesting posts recently that I just really loved, respected for a couple different reasons, but we're going to dive right into it. So highlighting Ryan here, Kane Fitness on Instagram first, just because he has just won the OCB Presidential Cup, which is one of their bigger shows on the East Coast of the US, right? And as you can see, phenomenal look. This is a well-followed show on the East Coast, at least in my region. So this is a big one for him to win. It's the start of his season. It's his 3rd season, as you can see here from the bio or the write-up here. He's a competitive breed athlete, so Bearcat was his coach. So congratulations, you guys, you Josh down in Tampa. But yeah, just a great look. We'll scroll through these photos here. And I mean, chiseled upper body. He looks full as a house. So peaked, from my opinion, really, really well, right? You can see his quads, maybe a little bit more separation to come in later in the season. I imagine, knowing Chris, that was probably a game plan. And looking at the body fat distribution here, that probably is something that they fight, right? Upper body, just like myself, probably comes in early. Lower body is slow to come in. And you have to play that game of not pushing too hard where you deplete the upper body and start losing muscle, especially this early in the season. If Ryan is looking at later shows, which I hope he is, because this is a phenomenal physique, guys. Really dense, great proportions and taper there in the front lat. I mean, just a lot of muscle maturity in the upper body, and I'm sure those legs are going to come in nice and tight in these later shows if he does them, right? There's not too many flaws there. Love this look, honestly. And I wanted to highlight, because if you read here, he said this is the 3rd time he's done this show, this specific show. 2018, he was men's physique. 2020, he was men's physique. And now in 2023, 3 years later from that competitive season, he's transitioned to bodybuilding and done so in a spectacular way. So keep in mind what he looks like here, right? We're going to go back to like a front shot. I want to then show you guys, he doesn't post much, but one of his last posts was in that 2020 season when he was looking at physique. So this is him now. Look at what he has done in a very short period of time, right? So 2020, this was his bulk versus his cut. I mean, just he has put slabs of muscle on his frame in just short 3 years. So a little inspiration for you younger viewers, younger listeners. You can do a lot in a short period of time. Now, short being 3 years, but in the grand scheme of things, that is not that much time. That's not too many years past, right? So one to watch for sure. I'll be watching his prep, the rest of it, if there is more. Ryan, if you're watching this, phenomenal physique, reach out, let us know the details, and we'll highlight them in the next video. Okay. So moving on, you guys are going to know who this is, right? Steve, everyone knows him, Revive Stronger, 11-month progress. So Steve is very regimented, very robotic, leads by example, and he has just been crushing this off season. And his physique changes here, if you just take a quick glance, might not look like that much, but really take a look through here. This is 11 months, and it's just everything has been just zoomed in on, right? It literally looks like we just took that photo and enlarged every single aspect of it. So very proportional growth across the entire frame. I mean, specifically through here, a little bit more chest, a little bit more arms, a little bit more hamstring hanging glutes. And I just love the fact they saw striated glutes in the off season, because I still have not seen a striation. So fantastic body fat distribution there. And then as we go, the front lat and the back shots really show the difference to me, right? So if we look here, there might be a slight posing difference here. You know, he could probably lean forward and actually this would look a little bit more dramatic. But regardless of the slight posing changes, you can see those lats hang a little bit lower and are out a little bit wider. So you're thinking, all right, is it the posing? Is it growth? Then we go to the back shots, and you can tell, right? The lats are bigger, the back is bigger, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Just a thicker look overall. So Steve has done a fantastic job, but everyone that follows him knows that it's almost to be expected with how regimented he is, right? So congratulations on that one. Look forward to his next prep, whenever that might be. And because we don't want to be biased, I wanted to highlight a female competitor this week. Katie is someone, I'm going to pronounce it Katie. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, my apologies. She's someone I followed for a long time just because I love the classic look, the classic posing, and I can highly respect any athlete, male or female, that takes as much time as she obviously does to look into the posing and to like master the art of that, because she does a fantastic job. For our female followers, she's someone to follow because you can see, and if you scroll through her other photos and videos, she doesn't have a huge frame, but she's really optimized that frame, and she has a fantastic look regardless. So it can be about the posing, the presentation, the proportions, rather than just how large you are, especially on the female side of the sport, right? So great small waist. She's got a cool vacuum here. She does some very classic poses, which I respect and love. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple other of her posts just to look through here. So she trains out of Das Gym, if that gives you any insight into her regional. And we'll see if my internet wants to work. Here we go. All right. So very competitive athlete, chiseled look. I mean, if you look through some of her posts, like this one had a ton of views for good reason. I mean, just great proportions there. Cap delts all the way down into the waist. You can see a little bit of a transition here as she leans on down. So everything just gets more and more impressive as she gets leaner there. Love the look, like I said. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Not too much in the way of news, just highlighting some athletes that I personally follow, and maybe you guys should follow as well. If you guys like this, if you have news you want us to coverage, if you want to see something else, let us know in the comments. Subscribe, like, follow, all the shenanigans just to help us grow. We just had another massive bump, right? So we're up there. We're trying to get to 20,000 followers on Instagram by the end of the year. It's very doable. We're very close. So spread the word, share, like, tag, all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys in the next one.